Howdy everybody. Today we're going to make vegan zucchini strips, and we're going to do them in the air fryer. We haven't tried this recipe in grease. I'm sure it'll turn out fine, but the air fryer is what we use the most, and we hope you will enjoy them. We first start by making our goop that we put on the zucchini to let the breading stick. Most recipes call for you to do 3 stages. This is only 2.
And no egg.
And no egg, so it's completely vegan. So we start with about a cup of flour, and you want to use a dish that's wide enough for your zucchinis. And then we're going to do some flavorings. Now I normally don't measure, but I can give you roundabouts of what we put in, but feel free as you do this recipe to put in what you want. So this is garlic powder. We're going to put in about, I don't know, half a teaspoon. And then onion powder, the same, about a half a teaspoon. And then the oregano, we're going to do a half a tablespoon, a little bit more. And then paprika, sweet or just regular, again, I don't know, quarter teaspoon. And then black pepper, quarter teaspoon. And then we start adding milk.
We use almond milk.
We use almond milk. But you can use any kind of milk you want. Or if you want to get crazy, try pickle juice. And then we're going to mix this up until it's like a glue. Maybe a little bit less, like Elmer's glue. Or closer to gravy, maybe. And take your whisk and just work it in. Make sure you get the stuff around the edges. Gonna add a little bit more milk. And anybody can do this. We're doing it in an RV, limited space, and just making the best of things. So right now you can see the consistency, a little thick. Now we're going to add about 1/3 cup of oil. You can use olive oil or any other kind of oil you want. And mix it up really well and let it sit for a while. If it seems too thick, you can thin it out. But we're going to let it sit so the clumps of flour dissolve and you end up with a much smoother mix. So for speed, I went ahead and made some earlier, and this is what we got. You just throw your zucchinis in there, and you're going to need parchment paper. And what we do is make them, and you can stack them, just keep separating them with parchment paper, and it doesn't matter if you've got a few layers on them. This is 3 layers, and that's about 3 zucchinis. And so the bread, you can use Italian style bread, or you can make your own. And if you're going to make your own, add a little oregano in with your breadcrumbs after you Cuisinart them. But we're going to cheat today. We're just going to use the Italian breadcrumbs. And we got about a cup. And then we use Parmesan. This is Follow Your Heart. It's really good, tastes really like Parmesan cheese, and it's completely vegan. And so we add about a half a cup in with that. Then mix it well. And what you don't use, you can save. We just throw it in a bag, put it in the freezer. And I don't know, we like these so much, things don't sit around very often. So there you go. Now you're going to want a couple of forks, and never...
One dry, one wet.
Yeah, one dry, one wet. And so here's our wet. We're going to go ahead and you can see the consistency. Just a little thinner than Elmer's glue. So you get it, let it drip off a bit, just dump it in, and then lightly shake it, bread it, and then voila, you have a very wonderful zucchini. And so you just do that till it's done, obviously. It's very important that we freeze this. So when we're done, we're going to let this freeze overnight, or you can freeze it just until they're really frozen. And then we can cook them. And how you cook them in the air fryer is warm your air fryer up on the highest temperature, 400 degrees, for about 5 minutes. And then after that, spray the bottom with olive oil and only put enough zucchini on the bottom to where there's air that flows between them. And keep an eye on them. Let them go about 8 to 10 minutes before turning them, and then go in there and turn them if they need them. Don't shake and stuff like that, because you'll be disappointed, things fall off. So they're real delicate until they're done. And they're done when they're a darker brown, not burned, but just a really good tan. And that's it. This is also good to do with Brussels sprouts, onion rings, chicken. What else do we use? Broccoli, cauliflower. Just anything you want to try to bread. And this process is a little bit quicker because there's only 2 steps. You got your goop, and you've got your bread, and you throw it in there, and you freeze it, and you're off to the races. So I hope you enjoy it. Love to everyone.